In 2023, YouTube boxing faces a pivotal moment with KSI's first loss and Logan Paul's retirement. This shift makes us wonder the future of a sport that has grabbed global attention. It's akin to the Marvel Cinematic Universe losing key characters like Iron Man and Captain America in Endgame, leaving a noticeable gap. So if they are leaving, why is it a concern? Surely there are plenty of other candidates that could take the position. Well, to understand why that isn't the case, we need to understand what brought the attention to YouTube boxing. The appeal of YouTube boxing has been its entertaining storylines, from the KSI Joe Weller feud to the Paul brothers saga. With the main stars stepping back, there's uncertainty about who will keep the excitement alive. KSI and Logan Paul weren't just boxers, they were storytellers, weaving personal drama and engaging plotlines. The challenge now is whether the next titans of YouTube boxing like Gib, Slim, Anthony Taylor and Salt Papi can recreate that intrigue. A lot of these guys are there to display their skills, and as such spend most of their time training behind the scenes, hidden from the rest of the world. The problem with this is a lack of entertaining content being produced, which makes some see these fighters as more like early professional boxers on a big stage. We see this even with Gib, who despite his name recognition raises financial concerns with lower pay-per-view numbers, as we learnt from Kingpin. With the early days of YouTube boxing, there were no financial concerns, as this was a new experiment. It's one of the reasons why the KSI Weller fight was free to watch, and the first KSI v Logan Paul fight was only £10. But times have changed, and major companies like DAZN have now invested interest in the space. So if they cannot sell pay-per-views or grow their subscription numbers, eventually they will have to drop the whole thing, which would be a huge shame because I'm a fan of what Misfits are doing. While Jake Paul remains active in the boxing scene, his pursuits differ significantly from the YouTube space, engaging in matches with retired MMA fighters and lower tier professional boxers. He is on a path that doesn't necessarily contribute to the original spirit of YouTube boxing. The spotlight then turns to the potential KSI and Jake Paul fight. While this matchup could inject new life into YouTube boxing, there is a looming question. What happens after that? Could it mark the definitive end of an era? So what changes need to happen in YouTube boxing? Firstly, the next generation of YouTube boxers need to be everywhere, active on YouTube, TikTok, you name it. Without that, these guys are just plain boring. Next up, let's stop mixing professional boxers or MMA fighters with YouTubers. The whole Tommy Fury versus KSI promo was a wake-up call.
We all know what's going to happen. I mean, if anybody here doesn't know what's going to happen, they need a new brain. There's no way this man can live with me. Yeah, I'm in a crossover world of boxing. It is what it is. It's a circus act. We've seen that all week.
Many of these boxers just don't vibe with the YouTube space. They can't entertain like our favourite creators. Tommy Fury? Dry as a cracker. If it weren't for Jake or KSI, he'd be flying under the radar. His dad though, did all the heavy lifting in the promotion. Lastly, let's make YouTube boxing more accessible. Bring back those big fights that are free on YouTube, like back in the day. It's the best way to get tons of young eyes on the sport. Relying solely on DAZN? That's risky. We don't want to be too dependent on just one company. We need variety, we need excitement, and we need to keep YouTube boxing in the hands of the fans. However, amidst uncertainties, a glimmer of hope emerges from Joe Weller challenging Bazinga. This echoes the early emotional connections to YouTube boxing. If it happens, this fight might just breathe new life into the sport. In conclusion, YouTube boxing's fate hangs in the balance. Storytelling, charismatic personalities, and accessibility are vital for its success. As we anticipate what's next, the potential Joe Weller vs Bazinga matchup offers hope, suggesting YouTube boxing saga might have unexplored paths. Only time will reveal if this is a new beginning or the end of an era. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.